What's up? How you doing? So, we're in Istanbul. I'm with Mohammed Heraldez. We just spoke at a conference today and he slipped into something.
I changed.
Slipped into something a little bit more comfortable. Normally, it's you that stays in the suit all day and it's me that slips into something else. But yeah, anyway, that's by the by. So, we were at a conference in Istanbul and it was for young business people, entrepreneurs. They were saying from the delegates, 70% of these young people were involved in business, had a business of their own, or starting one up, and about 30% were students. So I was talking about branding, Mohammed was talking about entrepreneurship, and actually, you know, when you were giving your talk, there was one thing that you said, and everyone started applauding in the middle. It was like, oh, okay, check in. Like, it was like some kind of rally or something, right? You were trying to get new recruits. Do you remember what you said?
No. Stuff I say is not noteworthy to me.
It was something.
Sadly, I wish it was. I wish the stuff I said was noteworthy to myself, but it is sadly not.
It was about money, and don't let anyone tell you that there's anything wrong with making money or it's incompatible with being spiritual or faithful or religious. It was, I think, a soft push for your forthcoming book on To God Through Money, right?
No, I didn't say go buy my book. Nah.
Also available.
So go to my website. No, it wasn't nothing like that.
Unlike me, who said, if you like my slides.
So if you like my presentation, actually he had a whole slide.
Here's a book.
Funny thing is, I actually have a book in my
right here. Like, hello, branding.com. Yeah, that really worked, didn't it? They were more interested in taking selfies with a guy with like an afro, right?
Yeah.
But I liked the fact that when you did your talk, you kind of grounded it in this idea of wanting to see what people's life goals were. I think that's what you were trying to say, right? It was like, apart from, I fell into business and you did what you always do that I hate you doing, which is like, because I don't know if it translates into other cultures, because you talk about how you always say that you failed. Was it
fantastically or
or something? You've had some fantastic failures.
Yeah.
And like, so I'd done my talk, and I'm in the audience, and like, I was like, and I've had some fantastic failures. And people are like.
Also, there's a lag when everyone's on a headset, so it's.
But do you think it's an American thing where Americans don't mind admitting they've had fantastic failures because
the world, many cultures, it's like a blight to the family name. It is bringing shame upon the family name when you fail. Just don't come home because mom and dad are not happy with the fact that you failed in your company. But I think as Americans, we are actually very proud, and it's a, stripes. It's a badge of honor to be, I reached success after 4 failures, or, my first company, I got sued, I lost my money, but then I came back. We have that triumphant story. The big guy beats the little guy beats the big guy. We love, that's an American thing.
Yeah, because like if I'm looking at this part of the world or the Middle East or the Far East, I don't hear of people talking about their failure.
Yeah, nowhere in the world. Nowhere in the world. I think that's a very, very unique American thing where we are proud of our failures. And I think as a human being, when you can accept it, you just grow more and you're able to evolve. And I think it's. But of course, I'm American, so I like that.
But it's also in American slang, isn't it? Like like a lot of street slang are like negative things, and you wear them as a badge.
What you mean? I don't know what you mean by that.
Like just words, like I don't want to say them. We'll think of some that we can say. But I think there's a lot of street slang where you say the opposite of what you actually mean. Like like you give somebody a badge because it's kind of it's cool. Not to be so kind of triumphant about your success or your attributes, right? You've got to downplay them a little bit. And the way to downplay them is rather than kind of act humble, like some cultures like, I'm just a humble person in my small, tiny, insignificant life. I've been very successful. Like the other approach seems to be that you don't have to do that. Your way of doing it is saying like, I was amazing at failing. I got kicked out of school. I didn't, Asian people probably don't want to admit that they got kicked out of school.
I dropped out. I had 1 semester left, but I dropped out because I wanted to chase my dream. That's a very American thing. Yeah, I've come to realize is traveling the world.
Like even Steve Jobs, right? Like you dropped out.
Everyone.
You drop out of university, and the only course that you studied was typography or something. Like, can you imagine like Asian businessman, Middle Eastern businessman says, I dropped out of university and like, you know what?
Yeah, it's something
your government asked you to pay back.
You find that on their you find that on their Wikipedia page, but you'll never see them talking about it. And Americans, we talk about it with pride.
Yeah.
Like it's like I said, a badge of honor.
Yeah. So Istanbul is one of the only, I think it's the only city which is half in Europe and half in Asia geographically, right? So that's what makes it unique. And so I guess why I'm thinking about East-West and culture like that is because Istanbul makes you think like that, right?
Yeah.
Formerly Constantinople, you've got the Bosphorus River, and it's been instrumental in a lot of things, from religion to business to trade to the Silk Road. Did you see anything recently that caught your eye in terms of like, you know, Turkey and developments?
So I'm going to just be frank. What has really caught my eye is that we've been taking in the sights, taking in the scenes, and there are a lot of men getting hair transplants.
Yeah.
So many.
See, I told you, didn't I tell you? I said, Mohammed, when you go to Istanbul, because you haven't been for a few years, right? It was like, the thing I noticed was all of these dudes, and you see like the kind of the red dots on the head where they've implanted hair follicles.
Big old band-aid on
Band-aids where they've taken the hair.
So
loads, literally like loads.
So
like,
medical tourism must be big here, because I've never been to a country where I see people walking around with the hair transplants. I've seen several
nose
men
jobs.
and women.
We saw some nose jobs.
Yeah, men and women I've seen walking around different sites with nose jobs. So you come here, you get your surgery done, and then you make a vacation or a holiday out of it. 3 or 4 days while you're healing, you got your black eye, you got your head all red.
But it's kind of, we think like it's quite cool, right? That you come to a country, the service is like really cheap in comparison.
That's it. I don't think they're coming.
Cheap.
I don't think they're coming for a holiday, because you don't really want to go on a holiday with two
No,
black
but
eyes.
still,
But
if you've got to
the
recuperate,
fact that it's cheap and it's good.
but do you want to recuperate in your neighborhood? That's the thing. Like if you've got to like leave, you have a procedure. And then you get to see like a bit of history, eat some nice food, a couple of kebabs, you know, selfies of like 2 black eyes.
That's something I noticed, that I did not know medical tourism here, so I can imagine that people are getting Botox, people are getting their teeth whitened, people are getting
teeth is another thing. Teeth is another thing.
You know, so that was one thing I noticed, which I never knew about this place until I actually saw it with my eyes. So that's one thing.
I think I also noticed, like, you know, we've spoken about modest fashion and women's fashion and stuff like that. Let's talk about men. Like, I've seen a lot of interestingly dressed males. By interesting, what I mean is, you might call them hipsters now, but guys that are wearing tailored jackets, trousers, different colours, like teal colours with pocket squares, two-tone shoes, spats. A guy had spats at the conference today. I don't know when I've ever seen spats. Like,
what's spats? What's that?
Spat. You know, like. You know, you have black shoes and you have like this white over gaiter type thing that you put on when you have really formal dress with a top hat, and you know when you have top hat and tails, and you have like spats on. You're gonna be like,
okay, we're just gonna have to lay.
You've never heard of spats?
No, I don't know. No. I mean, just if you describe, I don't know.
Like, do you know?
I mean,
all right. So spats are kind of like that. It's like a piece that comes partly over your shoe and it covers your ankle and it's white with black shoes. Like, right, you're gonna have to find it.
No, we're gonna put it right here.
But yeah, people like with interesting shoes, like guys with like, you know, pink jackets.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to notice those things because I'm the guy that kind of tries and experiments with loud colours. But when I come here, I'm always impressed by the fact that it's guys doing that, and it's obvious that they've had tailored jackets.
Yeah, we don't use the phrase anymore, but it's very metrosexual. Very metrosexual. They wear bright window pane suits, or they'll wear
jackets,
lime green jacket, and pocket square is just ferociously exiting the pocket,
diving.
You know, just. Or I don't know if it's 2 or 3 pocket squares in one, because it's just looks like a bouquet's coming out, and
it's like everybody's just like a footballer, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And then all of their hairs, they look like Ronaldo with their beard. So they got the Ronaldo hair with the line, and then they got the beard, and then and then all of their buttons are different colors.
Yeah,
no, they're really the thing is too is that. Yeah, I don't know. That's really odd, because
Turkey's one of the places which manufactures so many clothes.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, jeans, denim, distressed jeans, like using like
they're known for their
technology,
fabric, their textiles.
Textiles. Yep. I mean, so it kind of makes sense. And I found it was something similar.
Booming economy.
If we go to Bangladesh, then we can look out for that. But the one time I went to Bangladesh, I was surprised at how, not in a bad way, but how well dressed locals were in Dhaka, and I thought it kind of makes sense. You're making all the clothes with the top brands, so you know what looks good.
Made in Bangladesh.
Yeah, made in Bangladesh, and you're wearing those things on the street.
Yeah.
They were like, Bangladeshis better dressed in Dhaka than they were in East London. Sorry, East London. Like,
yeah, so that's what I noticed. I picked up on was just the medical tourism, which I never knew about. So for those who are looking into that, check out Istanbul because you get to see some really good sights. You get really good food, some history, come back with some nice bright veneers. And you were saying, so anything else did you pick up from the people? Or
food.
Oh yeah, the food.
The food is, the diversity of food is amazing. Man. Like I can see the mix because shout out to Hafiz Mustafa. Like where else can you get a dinner where you have mashed potatoes and rice and bulgur and bread and salad and cheese and meat, right? There aren't many cuisines.
And kunefe and baklava afterwards with apple tea and Turkish coffee.
No, I love it.
Man, it's... Yeah. I just come here and just been getting drunk on Turkish coffee. Would you like sugar? Nah, I just want it raw. So that's the food.
And someone was telling me that people, like Turkish people, are willing to jump on a plane to go to other parts of Turkey for particular types of food. And I thought to myself, in the UK, I don't know people that would travel at the motorway.
But those are foodies.
Yeah, but you know what?
We have that in America.
France, yeah, because they have regions in which you name particular products, wines, cheeses, Italy. Like, I just think that out of all the countries in Europe,
I don't know.
Whilst we're still in Europe, by the way, that I don't think British people would travel. like I'm gonna go up north for my northern steak and kidney pie.
Yeah.
My chips and gravy, like from London. Like,
I need to go to there for some fish and chips. Where in England is known for you want some fish and chips, you got to go to, is it Wales? Is it, what area? Oh, you got to go to Birmingham, or is it?
I'm biased, but it's got to be England and Scotland.
No, but where specifically in England? What city? Because they're talking about cities here, just like you were talking about France.
You hit me up and tell me, because I wouldn't know. I mean, I'm born in Manchester and I live in London. But I think generally speaking, you would assume that if somewhere is near water, they're going to get better fish, therefore better fish and chips.
Because in America, you want barbecue, it's always down south.
Yeah.
If you're talking cheesecake, you're going to talk up north, northeast.
Yeah.
If you're talking cheese, you're talking Wisconsin. You want potatoes, it's Idaho. You want avocado, it's California. We have our different...
See, the thing is, we've got cheeses in England named after areas like Cheshire, Lancashire, Wensleydale, Cheddar, Red Leicester. But I wouldn't drive to Leicester to buy Red Leicester.
Do you think the person was exaggerating? Do you think that's a real Turkish thing? Because in Malaysia, they call it food hunting.
I think it's for real because... I see it in other countries. Like they definitely do it in France, Italy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Japan, they do. India, because it's heavily linked to the culture. Like you've got Hyderabadi.
So your question is, in these countries, are people traveling for food for the sole purpose to I need to have blank in blank city because it's the best and it originated there? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
I can imagine that's a human experience. I can imagine that humans do that. If you're in the Northeast, you want a cheesesteak, you got to go to Philly. You don't go, cheesesteak, man, I need to go to Trenton.
Okay, so do you know what? It got me thinking, because did my PhD, do research in culture. It got me thinking that people that are willing to spend money and time to travel to a region for a particular type of food perhaps is an indicator of how strong their culture is. Because if you look for you look for telltale signs as to how significant someone's culture. Everyone needs culture, and culture is important to everybody. But to the degree that it will force you to behave and conform, but
that could just be the culture of the people,
right? So, but I'm talking about, say, for example, the culture of the Turkish people. Why, why is, for example, this Turkish person so nationalistic or so regional, or why is corporate identity so important to them? because like you often find that companies maybe with strong corporate identities are from perhaps very nationalistic regions, or like, you know, normally there's a correlation, like how you build your company is an extension of your own identity and personality. And if within that identity you're like that, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, I'm brainstorming, but I just thought it was interesting because for me, that's not my culture, and I wouldn't do that. And I don't know people that would travel. It's like if I'm in town, I'll take something from there. But if I'm not in town, I ain't going to lose my sleep over it.
I've been to other countries where people do that.
Yeah,
They'll travel. Like I said, it's Instagram.
So
when people used to, more predominantly when people were taking pictures of their foods, that's sort of died out now on Instagram. But foodies, people do that. People do that. People travel for, oh, you want X, you got to go to Y for that. So any other observations you made here? We can make this a short. It's not even short. It's like 16 minutes.
No, I'm done. I'm done for now.
Anyway, thank you for tuning in, coming from Istanbul, Turkey, where
Istanbul, baby,
the East meets the West. Thank you for watching. Peace. Cool.